And your intention to be here is a perpetual flow of intention, a stream. Some people call it, it's a perpetual breath line. You have this magic key in your heart. It's a frequency of your heart, and that is what opens you up. And our bodies were originally designed to be the natural stargate.
Well, this is the thing. This is all about the state of consciousness. So you can be in the storm, and if your state of consciousness is evolved and integrated to spirit, then you aren't going to feel the hell that others who haven't applied themselves accordingly, they're going to have a more difficult time.
If you really get impregnated in your narrative of the setup story,
the victimhood,
the victimization, then this is how they steal your life.
Yeah. So if you accept that and you allow that victimhood, even if legitimate victimhood, to define you, to define your life, to define your experience on this as a victim, and to define and overrun your consciousness, then that's going to be a huge block for you, and it's gonna be a block to your progress, be a block to your evolution, and it's going to keep you stagnant.
When you choose to believe in a narrative that's not your spirit and that isn't your true essence,
it's aside from that.
Then you are being imprisoned in your own mind, and you're manifesting that
in the matrix.
In the matrix.
In the matrix.
Time doesn't exist, so past, present, and future happen simultaneously, and oftentimes it's you communicating with you from the future, from the past, whatever. Then there's the benevolent family that is outside this matrix, who's been dealing with this and have come in to undo and to help to undo through us. Now, though
they will also come in more directly,
right,
as well, at an appointed time.
Exactly. When some people say to me, well, why are you telling me to focus on the 3D? That's everything I don't want to do. That's everything I want to run away from and escape. But see, that's a disharmonic, and that's a disharmonic from your own creation. When you chose to be here, you chose to go through what you need to here. It is essential that you integrate that knowingness that this is part of what you need to do to get to what you are already. So integrating the 3D and maybe focusing on it and trying to, and when I say this, I don't mean this abstractly.
Coming in here, there's also a level of, well, there are other beings here who are given their will.
Right.
And that is what it is. And sometimes, circumstances do occur where people are on the receiving end of harm.
Absolutely.
And not because the benevolent family endorses that or approves that, but there is willful allowance.
Look, so what I concentrate on, knowing that this is where the work is done, is that you need to manifest a safe life, an abundant life, an independent life, so that you're not codependent on something or someone, so that you are not a slave of something or someone. Mm-hmm. You need to be able to create your paradise in your little tiny world. And you need to be able to be and have a healthy foundation by which to create from that an abundant life full of everything that you actually are. That's what it's about. Yeah. Not all of this other junk, okay? Which is junk, including, so that you're not codependent on something or someone, so that you are not a slave of something or someone. Mm-hmm. You need to be able to create your paradise in your little tiny world. And you need to be able to be and have a healthy foundation by which to create from that an abundant life full of everything that you actually are. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Not all of this other junk.
Yeah.
Okay? Which is junk. Including, I mean, if you want to believe that your life is filled with implants and this and that and the other thing and the possession and the demons, I've been there, I've done that. I've survived it. I've survived demons torturing me in the flesh since I was tiny. All of that. It isn't that everything that you can imagine is real. There isn't one thing. If you imagine it, it's real, okay? But you don't need to give it life. If you don't give it life, it is not real to you. It cannot hurt you. It cannot come in. It's only what we give life to.
And give allowance.
That's the breach. That's the only, and it doesn't matter. The breach can be a tiny, tiny, tiny crack in your wall. That's all that's needed. Having seen, experienced, survived, lived, dead, all of it, I can tell you that all those things cannot stick to me. Implants can't stick to me. Parasites, whatever. It doesn't work that way. It only works if you feed it, if you give it, if you breach, if it can walk into your reality. But that's not who and what you are. You take what you really are and you're bringing that heaven here. Because this is the secret. This is where paradise is. This is where we are meant to design our creation in a paradise.
Well, when you're saying that, you're talking about a personal paradise in one's personal universe.
Right, but it's also in the entire realm. That the realm got hijacked. Everybody's mind got hijacked. It no longer became the paradise. It's the second earth will be the paradise, okay? Because it's just going to be transferred for those that,
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that it is going to be a paradise. Whether what happens in this cell of creation is because what has chosen its own darkness, and they did not want to evolve within themselves, so they wanted to stick to the narrative of this parasite, of the narrative of the vampire, of the narrative of death, of the narrative of all the things that are on the lower frequency. They have to live out that.
Well, I feel that is being lived out now, until its dissolution.
Right. They have to live it out and be, dissolved. And for that isn't holding those frequencies, for those that are living life frequency, which is creation, then the second earth is exactly the vibration. And that doesn't mean that this whole process that's happening, it is a refining of the universe.
Yeah.
Through the fire. And the fire, it has to burn out everything that is not of creation, because it's enough. It's enough. Creation's saying it's enough. This has gone on way too long and it can't keep going.
Oh, it's a purging.
So the journey inward is the key. And you have this magic key in your heart. It's a frequency of your heart. And that is what opens you up. And our bodies were originally designed to be the natural stargate. And sit and be with yourself and observe your mind. You need to address yourself. And this is true pathway to enlightenment. And then true enlightenment is not data downloads or getting information hits or another being or another entity feeding you information. It's not that. No. True spiritual enlightenment is realization. It's where you take the two opposites in the duality of a wound or a challenging situation, and you look at these raw elements, and then you find a way to integrate them harmoniously back into unity. The divergence is either you have the capacity to look inward and rebalance your internal equation. You look in and you finally reach your soul and come back home to the unified field, a natural way of love, natural way of life, natural way of light. Or you end up in one of the imperial narratives in one way, shape or form or another. And be willing to face yourself. Pull yourself up.
I am looking at the tree of life, everybody. Wait until you see this. How many people have sat here and cradled themselves in the tree?
Yeah, isn't it beautiful?
I feel like I'm nurtured.